Hey guys, I hope you're all having a really good day. It's that time of the week, so that means Spiritual Sundays, the series where I'm talking about all of the deeper issues in life, from subjects related to mental health, human psychology, spirituality, and so much more. In last week's video, I talked all about what it means to be yourself and find your true personality in order to truly shine. Today, I want to take this one step further and talk about why it's so important to accept yourself and all parts of yourself in order to obtain more success and happiness and ultimately love yourself unconditionally. The other day I was just chilling out at home. I had YouTube on. Now the kind of stuff that I tend to watch on YouTube tends to be the more like self-development content, and I had this video on which was all about compulsive behaviours and why it's bad to indulge in compulsive behaviours. And as I was watching this video, I noticed all these thoughts of guilt, worry, anxiety kick in, and it wasn't before long before I started to spiral downhill and I found myself in this like pit of unworthiness. It wasn't nice. I had to consciously kind of wake myself up and say, hang on a minute, Claire, this is not helpful. I had to remind myself about how far that I've come and that I am on this path to self-love. And of course that got me thinking about this topic of self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is about having compassion for all that we are. It's not about comparing ourselves to somebody else or even to a former version of ourselves. It's about looking at what is and accepting it being our personality, body, life, etc., for what it is, without this need to change something in order for us to feel good. Now, that's not to say we can't change aspects of ourselves if we really want to, but we don't have to do this in order to be enough. We can love ourselves as we are now. We can change our self-image, i.e. the way we look at ourselves, but our self, that which lies at the very core of our being, our true essence, has and always will remain the same. Self-acceptance means recognizing all of the different parts that make up our personality, our looks, relationships, life story, and saying, yeah, I'm okay with that. Now, of course, not only does this mean accepting the positive parts of ourselves, the things we maybe like, it also means accepting all of our weaknesses, faults, mistakes, embarrassments. For many of us, this can be the most challenging part, and more often than not, we reject and deny these parts of ourselves because we feel ashamed of them. What happens is that these so-called negative parts of ourselves get pushed deep into the unconscious, locked away in a box so that nobody will find them, even ourselves. But even though we may have mentally forgotten about them, they never disappear. These unconscious aspects seep out and affect our day-to-day life, sometimes even controlling us whilst we remain blissfully unaware. Now, before I go too much off topic talking about the unconscious mind, let's go back to accepting our weaknesses. We have all made mistakes over the course of our life, done things we are ashamed of, said words that we didn't mean. But just because we have done these things doesn't necessarily make us a bad person or unworthy of being loved. Often, particularly if we already have a very low self-esteem, we identify with these weaknesses in an unhealthy way. But it's really important to understand that just because we made a mistake doesn't mean that we are a mistake. These are two completely different things. In fact, if we want to transform our weaknesses, perhaps into strengths, we first need to recognize and shine the light of awareness on them. It's like looking straight into ourselves and just observing everything without the need to pass judgment about whether we are a good or bad person, because really there is no such thing. Our true self is the only thing we'll ever have. We are born with it and we will die with it. It is in a constant state of growth, but never arriving at the end destination, because there is no end destination. All there is now. So no matter what we do or change in an attempt to better ourselves, if we can't accept who we are in this moment right now, we will never reach total success, happiness and love, both for ourselves and for other people. This doesn't mean that we have to like all parts of ourselves. It's just about recognizing all of the aspects that make up who we are, and rather than trying to push them away from us, instead pull them closer and expressing love, kindness, even gratitude. Also, notice the difference between yourself and your actions and behaviors. They are not the same thing. Love yourself not because you are perfect, but because you are imperfect. What I have found to be really helpful is to learn to laugh at myself, particularly the parts that I often feel ashamed of. Not in a cruel way, just like, okay, I did something a little bit embarrassing, but hey, you know what? I'm only human and we all have flaws. And in fact, these flaws only make us more lovable. Often, when we meet people who are seemingly perfect, who just appear to have their life completely together, we have quite a hard time relating to them because it's actually quite unnatural and pretty much impossible for a human to be perfect. Deep down, we know that they're probably hiding things too, and this makes them come across as being very inauthentic. The more we can just stand up and say, this is who I am with all my flaws and weaknesses, and I'm okay with it, the more other people will connect with us and the more love we will have towards ourselves. Begin to notice all the little things that make up who you are. The good, the bad, and the damn right ugly. Not that there is such a thing as ugly in this universe because everything is beautifully unique. But I want you to just look at these things without putting a label on them. I'm purposely not using specific examples here because I don't want to imply that certain actions, behaviours, etc. are either good or bad. The idea is that we are removing all judgment and seeing things as they are in a very neutral way and being content with that. That's not to say this gives us an excuse to go around doing whatever the hell we want or saying unpleasant things towards ourselves or other people, because there sure as hell will be consequences. Instead, it's recognizing that these things don't make us who we are. We can't paint a complete picture of ourselves, or another person for that matter, based on one thing that we did or said. People are not born inherently bad. There are reasons behind all actions and behaviours carried out in this world. So trust that you are a good, decent and loving human being. Have confidence in all that you are. Be yourself and accept yourself, because there will never be another. You are special and unique, and once we all start to recognise this inner beauty, flaws and all, incredible things will start to happen. Doors will open, heads will turn, life will become somewhat joyous again. Thank you so much for watching this video and for listening to my words. If you liked it, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and of course hit the notifications button so that you don't miss any of the latest updates from me. And if you have any questions or things you want to say to me, please do come and say hello over on Instagram, as I love chatting with you guys. I hope you all have the most amazing week, and I will see you next time. Bye!